In this video, we're going to look at statics of particles. A particle is static when it's at rest, when the forces are balanced, when it's in equilibrium. So here we've got a question. We've got a particle of mass 5 kilograms being suspended by two light inextensible strings, and we need to find the tension in the strings when the system is balanced, when it's in equilibrium. So we need to look at what forces are acting on our particle. So we've got a 5 kilogram mass. So acting vertically down is its weight, and that is 5g. Weight is mass times acceleration due to gravity, so it's 5 times g. We've got two strings, so we've got two tension forces. We can call them T1 and T2. And we can say that from the diagram, we can see that T1 acts at 30 degrees to the horizontal, and T2 is acting at 40 degrees to the horizontal. So because the system's in equilibrium, because the forces are balanced, we can say forces up equal forces down, and forces left, so forces to the left equal forces to the right. So we can look at forming these equations. So forces up equal forces down. So what forces are acting up? Well, we've got a component of the T1 force and a component of the T2 force. So we've got T1, and that's sine 30, the component. And we've got T2, sine 40. So that's a component of the T1 force and a component of the T2 force. There, forces up, forces down is 5g. And we can also say forces left equal forces right. So to the left, we've got a component of T1, which is T1 cos 30. And that equals forces to the right, which is a component of T2, and that is T2 cos 40. So now we've got simultaneous equations, and we need to solve these. So we can rearrange one equation. So if we rearrange the second equation to make it T1 equals, so we divide both sides by cos 30, and we'll have T2 cos 40 over cos 30. So we've got T1 is equal to T2 cos 40 over cos 30. And I'm going to substitute this into my first equation, and I will eliminate T1. So if I do that, I've got T2 cos 40 over cos 30 times a sine 30 plus T2 sine 40 equals 5g. Now I'm just going to factorize out T2 from the left hand side. So if I take T2 out, that leaves me with cos 40 over cos 30 times sine 30 plus sine 40. So all these sines and coses we don't have to worry about, because that is just a number, and we can type that whole thing into the calculator and we will turn it into a number. So cos 40 over cos 30 times sine 30 plus sine 40, and that comes out as 1.085. So I'm going to keep the whole number in the calculator, but what I've actually got here is 1.085 T2 equals 5g. So it looks a lot simpler. I'm going to keep that whole number, keep it as answer in the calculator, and to find t2, I'm going to do 5g divide by my 1.085. But I'll use the answer button, so I'm going to type in 5 times 9.8 over answer, and I'll give my answer to 2 significant figures, and that gives me 45 newtons. Now I'm going to keep that number in the calculator as well, because I'm going to use it to find T1. And we know T1 equals T2 cos 40 over cos 30. So I'm just going to type in the calculator answer cos 40 over cos 30. So answer cos 40 over cos 30. And 2 significant figures again, I've got 40 newtons this time. Okay, here we've got a different statics problem. This time we've got an inclined plane, but it's still a statics problem because it's still at rest. The forces are still in balance. So here we've got a block of mass 0.8 kilograms, as shown on the diagram. It's held at rest on a rough plane. So it's a rough plane. So we know we've got friction. Inclined to the horizontal at an angle of 40 degrees as shown. The block is held at rest by a 10 Newton force acting up the plane in the direction parallel to the line of greatest slope. So we've got a 10 Newton force acting up the plane. The particle is at the point of slipping up the plane. So the point of slipping up the plane means friction is opposing the motion. So friction is going to act down, and it's on the point of slipping. So friction is going to take its maximum value. What other forces do we have acting on our block? We have its weight acting vertically down, which will be 0.8 g, the mass times acceleration due to gravity. And we've got the normal reaction, which acts perpendicular to the plane. So if we think of it as a tilted axis, tilted by 40 degrees, we have a 40-degree angle between our axes and the weight. So we need to find the coefficient of friction between the block and the plane. So friction max is going to be mu times r. We want to find the coefficient of friction, that's mu. So we need to know friction, and we need to know r, and then we can find mu. So because it's at rest, we know the forces up equal forces down. So if we say the forces, if we're looking at perpendicular to the plane first, so we can say r equals a component of 0.8 g, which is 0.8 g cos 40. And they are the only 2 forces in that direction, so that's r. And then if we look at the forces parallel to the plane, the forces up the plane must equal the forces down the plane. So we can say 10 equals friction max plus the other component of 0.8 g, which would be 0.8 g sine 40. So we can say that friction is equal to 10 minus 0.8 g sine 40. So there we have r, 0.8 g cos 40, friction, 10 minus 0.8 g sine 40. So mu is going to be friction divided by r. So mu friction divided by r. So 10 minus 0.8 g sine 40 over r, which is 0.8 g cos 40. So we'll type it into the calculator. changing g to 9.8 as we go. And we get out our mu of, to two significant figures, 0.83.